On the Count of Podcast.
Podcast!
Hi. Welcome to I Hate Critics 1993. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. With me is Amy.
Hello.
And MJ.
Hello.
And on the social media, Amy has the Facebook page.
Yes, which I have not been on for about 3 weeks.
Great job. You're
I've been
killing
off of Facebook, but then I got sick, and then I was tired, and then I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I'll update it
You're
soon.
doing a great job promoting the show.
Well, I can
It's really...
say, if you went outside and looked at our
How's the-
tree, I've been posting things there
How's
all
the
day.
Tumblr going?
It's also on the tree.
It's also on the tree right now. Some say things are in the cloud. Here, they're actually physically on a tree. So, yeah. But no, we will get that going. I've just been really under the weather and feeling pretty miserable. So,
Good for you.
thanks. Thanks for caring.
I really feel for you.
I don't think anyone gives a shit about me, honestly.
What about Jim Abrams? Do you think he gives a shit about you?
He does. He does.
He's the director of a movie we watched.
Yeah, Pat Proft also thinks a lot about me, too.
He's the co-writer.
So, so you gonna tell him what we watched, or should we just
I was
have
waiting
him
for
guess?
you to do it.
Maybe
but-
we just keep talking about it.
Yeah,
So they guess.
let's see if they figure it out.
Movie star Charles Sheen.
Charles.
Charles.
Carlos Estevez.
Oh, is that his real
And
name?
That is his real name,
Oh, wow.
actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And Valeria Golino, who I love, and Ryan Stiles, and Richard Crenna, and the awesome, and father of Jeff, Lloyd Bridges.
I thought you were gonna go with Jerry Haleva.
Oh, I'm sorry I left him out. He played Saddam Hussein. Hot Shots Part Deux,
Oh,
ladies
okay,
and
fine.
gentlemen.
Yes,
There
fine.
it is.
Yeah,
There it
okay.
is. Yeah.
You cleared up the mystery.
Well, the thing is, we had several choices of film to watch today, and all of those choices, both MJ and Sean, did not want to sit through.
I hate Cool Runnings
Why?
a lot, and I just didn't want to be miserable for 90 minutes.
What is it about Cool Runnings that makes you upset?
Everything. I'm forced to remember the death of John Candy.
Oh. Yeah.
Dougie Doug is the single unfunniest human being this side of David Arquette.
I don't remember Dougie Doug.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, we didn't watch that piece of shit, so we decided to look into some of the films that maybe we hadn't.
Yeah, missed out on.
Yeah, we just kind of skipped over, and Hot Shots.
And we have a second movie anyway that is more timely. Did you say Hot Sharts? Jesus
Took me
Christ!
a minute to
What
realize
the
that.
hell? I know you were sick. I didn't think you were going to be this graphic about it.
Part Deux.
Oh God!
It is.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
a rough couple days.
Sorry. Yeah. I've been down. Baby. But yeah, so we chose this movie, which actually came out when, in September
It
of
came out
93?
like in July or something. Like, it was a
Oh.
while back.
You don't care, right, listener? Listener.
I know you were hanging on us watching a Bronx Tale or something that might be objectively good, but
Sean didn't want to sit through it though.
No.
Again.
Wasn't
we
Not in the
wanted to watch
mood.
the Michael J. Fox for Love or Money. That
Yeah.
movie doesn't exist anymore.
That's upsetting.
Taken away.
Yeah.
From us
I wanted
forever.
another Life with Mikey scenario.
He's a concierge, you see, who falls in love with a French woman.
He can
Huh.
get you anything. He can get you Broadway tickets. He can get you basketball tickets. He can get you a
He
limousine.
can get you laid.
Just a little grease the palm. You
Grease
know?
the palm of the
That's what they
concierge.
say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Still true to this day. If you're going to any place in New York,
Grease that palm.
yeah,
Yeah.
slip $100 bill to the concierge and they'll get you into Hamilton.
Wow. Now, if that $100 bill is greasy, they will not accept that.
God,
Where are you from?
why is it so greasy?
Why is this so greasy?
Why is your palm so greasy? Tell me that.
Well, that fits right in with our whole moisture thing in the 90s. Everybody had sweaty palms
Oh.
and greasy heads.
And they're in what, Turkey to start the movie?
Yeah.
Where it's like just Charlie Sheen just drenched in sweat.
Just so oily But buff,
Moist.
man, he
was
really
very
bulked
moist.
up for this movie, though. I didn't realize, like, with the V shape of his back.
He was pulling Stallone. This is a
That's true.
Rambo 2 parody.
That's right.
Although I was waiting for it to happen and it never happened. I wanted him to say, "Do we get the win this time?" Fucking so Stallone in Rambo 2 goes back to Vietnam to rescue like Vietnam people who are captured in Vietnam,
Yeah.
POWs, and
Vietnam
when they when they tell him about the mission, he goes, "Do we get to win this time?" It's like, fuck you, no. What are you talking about? Your job is just to go save people, isn't it? You're not refighting the fucking Vietnam War by yourself, you fucking asshole. God, how arrogant. What an arrogant prick.
Yeah, but there are a lot of arrogant pricks in America that love that line. You know what I mean?
You know that thing that all of our military couldn't do together?
Yeah.
I'm going to go do it by myself as Rambo. Save American pride.
You're acting like he has some sort of ego.
Him? No. I mean, at that time, he was just a super rock climbing, heavyweight championship winning, Vietnam War fighting person by himself.
That's true. That's true. Sean, we're stealing that. We're stealing that from you.
My chair has just been stolen by a dog. I'd like everyone to know that.
My legs hurt and I had to move. It's not my fault.
The stool is cold.
First hot sharts, now cold stools.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
You said I wasn't allowed to get us canceled this week. So I'm just trying to play. I'm working blue today. That's what I'm doing. I'm working blue.
So the first one they ended, they bombed Saddam Hussein, but apparently he didn't die because he's still alive in this one.
Right.
But Lloyd Bridges he's gone from being the head of the military to now the president of the United States.
Tug Benson. Tug. Such a great name.
Is this the single funniest performance that anyone has ever given?
I'm telling you. I mean, comparatively to like Airplane. You know what I mean? Like, it was so fucking brilliant. But this, I forgot just how fucking funny he was.
Every line.
Every line.
Every line is a joke.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of like. Oh, actually, I think one of his is a quote that I did take down. Let me have a look. 'Cause of course, I took my notes like I normally do.
Every part of his body has been replaced. So, like, he goes flying into a fireplace. And it says don't worry, they replaced my skin with asbestos.
He goes, first guy to die loses. I do love that line. But he's just, I mean, like how Leslie Nielsen always kind of, bumbles through a movie.
Mm-hmm.
This could easily be like that, but it's not. It's all in Bridges' delivery.
The scary thing is, like, he could be a real president.
He really could.
This presages Bush Jr.
The moment he threw up on the guy's shoes, I'm like, oh, remember that?
Remember
Takes me
when
back
the
to
president
92.
vomited on a
Yeah.
world leader?
Oh, that's funny. Immortalized in REM's Ignoreland off of Automatic for the People, by the way. So,
what was the reference in that?
It's with throw up on your shoes. He was talking about Bush,
Wow.
basically. Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole song is undermining Bush and
Didn't he
pro
almost
shit like that.
Didn't he almost choke to death while watching football? No, that was his son. His son was eating chips, laying down, watching football, and one got lodged in his throat, and we nearly lost the president of the United States.
There's like
to chips.
It's like their heads are full of helium, and that's what's keeping the meat bag going. You know what I mean? Those bushes, I tell you, those crazy bushes. Yeah. So, but anyway, great job in this movie, kind of making fun of Bush Sr. I think Bridges was phenomenal.
And again, presaging his son, who's so much dumber, and like so much dumber. Like he would say some of the dumb shit that Tug Benson says, like, "I'll kill you to death." Like,
even what freaked me out was as Bridges, the very first time we see him in the movie, as he's stepping off the plane, as the camera's looking up at him, it actually looked like Bush. It was so weird. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. And just as stupid as he is, I mean, it's not like so. I mean, no, it is. It's very stupid, but not like Trump stupid. You know what I mean? That's a whole other class. But oh god, I thoroughly enjoyed his whole role in this film.
Cookie.
Out of Abraham Lincoln's head.
No, thank you, sir. Young lady? No, thank you, sir. No, I was offering him a young lady.
So good. So good.
It's just all over the place.
He nailed it.
Topper Harley, Charlie Sheen walks up to him and says, President Benson. Says, no, you're not. I've seen him on TV, an older man about my height.
You don't want to go around pretending to be the president.
I wouldn't, right? That was such a great exchange. All of that. Oh my god.
Or actually, he said, I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Go around like I'm the president.
I could see George Bush Jr. saying, looks like the upper hand is on the other foot.
Yeah. That's so good. Oh my god. Well, you know what pissed me off about this movie is that normally when we're watching a film, I have my notes app open, and it wasn't until like way later in the film that all of a sudden I got like 5 lines. I should have been writing all these other ones down. I just didn't.
Because they're too funny. You're busy laughing.
So say what you will about Carlos Estevez, but I mean he's not my favorite, but I will say Hot Shots 1 and this film, he does it beautifully. He's really fucking funny, and he always lands the joke, I think.
But he's a classic, what I like to call Bugs Bunny character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the smartest guy in any room that he's in. And Sheen's really good at that, even here. But he's not that he's unwilling to make himself the joke either. Like, the opening scene, which is a take on both Rambo 2, because Rambo does the same, fighting thing, but also, like, on a Jean-Claude Van Damme riff where they're putting, like, their hands and stuff. Like, Jean-Claude Van Damme had this fight where, like, they had to cover their hands in broken glass.
Yeah.
And then punch each other.
The one dude does glue, nails, and we go back to Charlie, and he's got caramel, sprinkles,
Gummy bears.
Skittles, and they're yelling at gummy bears, sprinkles.
And then later, another guy is ending up with gummy bears on his face.
He accidentally got hit.
They never punch each other once.
No.
Him and his opponent. Not one time.
No.
They punch every fucking person in the room.
That's knocking down wood platforms.
See, but that was another great gag because they did that. They did that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When they're going to get on the train, he's like, is my board? And then all of a sudden his board comes and hits this guy in the head. Shit like that. That kept happening. I love that. You have all the living presidents down there with President Tug Benson. And he's putting the shovel in the ground to kind of, whatever.
And knocking everybody except Gerald Ford.
Except for Gerald Ford. Knocked everybody else down.
Gerald Ford had this tendency to fall down a lot. He tripped and fell a lot, and he became like his thing. So like Chevy Chase on the first season of SNL played Gerald Ford, and every time he played Gerald Ford, he would find a way to fall down in some unique way.
Aww.
And that became his legacy. Because I think he tripped twice.
God damn it. I still have to put Chevy on the cunt list, though.
Well, yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
On there. I forgot about that.
Did you see what he said about Community?
No.
I don't want to be around those people.
Guess what, Chevy?
They don't watch you.
They don't give a shit. No one wants you around either.
Yeah.
Remember when he was funny?
Never.
Yeah.
I don't actually, because I've seen Cops and Robertsons.
Oh God. I loved him on SNL, but then I'm really happy because Bill Murray actually got to punch him in the face. So that's
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always good news.
Of course, Bill might deserve a punch in the face too, but
maybe so, but he's still markedly better than Chevy Chase. But one of my favorite Charlie Sheen lines in this movie. Want to read it?
I left my heart in my other pants.
The deadpan.
Oh God.
The deadpan. How
So
they
good.
managed to be that without like breaking down.
They had to have done that like at least 10 times for each of these lines. Like, I left my heart in my other pants.
Your face is always on the tip of my tongue.
But the best visual gag in the entire movie is the Lady in the Tramp bit.
Oh, yes.
Kiss me like you've never kissed me before, and then he
kisses
sucks
her
on her
fucking
nose.
Oh my god. French kissing that nose. Poor Valeria. Like, I would have lost my shit with that one. Good God.
You gotta wonder if she knew he was gonna do that, or
Yeah, like, it could have been anything.
She held it together. I mean, she did not react to it at all.
I don't know how, but
Yeah,
did.
that was MJ's like really kind of early on in the film observation, where you're just like, how do they do this? Like, how do they not like laugh their asses off? I would love to see the outtakes of this film, though. I really would. God damn it.
How does Lloyd Bridges deliver those lines? Just, I mean, he doesn't laugh.
He doesn't. But it's like he takes like great care of it, like De Niro would of a role. Like that Lloyd Bridges stewards this position in this film, and he carries it along, and he goes all in. The minute they're doing sword play on the stairs, that fucking shit right there with the sword going through the candle, and instead of the candle breaking, the sword breaks. Fucking fantastic. So good. Good God. Yeah, there's just a shit ton of moments like that, though, and like it's nonstop. So if you even laugh for a minute, you have to be quiet. You have to go back and go, okay, did I miss something? Because I think I laughed over another joke.
Because that's the nonstop nature of this. It's just This is a movie that never lets up for a moment.
Exactly.
I mean, there's the cheerleaders in the fight scene early on.
Oh my God.
The Laker girls are just here.
It's Thailand. They were in Thailand.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, yeah, the girls come out, and they've got like a hip hop routine that's almost going there. Holy shit, that was funny. The whole idea of her lucky mole.
Oh.
Just taking the mole off her face and putting it on
his.
Take it to war with you.
Now, see, I thought that had something more to do with like reconnaissance. I thought
like, oh, maybe it was gonna be a tracker.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
I wanted it to explode. Yeah,
yeah,
he throws it. It's just massive explosion.
That exchange with Valeria Golino and is it Brenda Backey? Is that who that is?
I think so. Yeah.
Talking about like that you make it. They're talking to each other. They've known each other for a long time. They went to college with each other, and you could like the
They're
way
talking about experimenting.
Yeah, and you're thinking, oh, these two had a lesbian moment in school, and no, it's bungee jumping.
Bungee jump.
Fucking bungee jumping.
The cutaways to Richard Crenna.
Yeah, he's sweating bullets. He was the moistest man in this movie. Richard Crenna.
Go
God
on.
bless ya.
Tell us more.
Go on. Yes. Oh, that's so good. So good. Yeah. I don't think there was a moment in this movie that we didn't
I
laugh.
don't remember this line
Which
at
one?
all, but check this out. Tug Benson. Every time I give an order, it gets screwed up. Plan a reception, wrong hors d'oeuvres. Appoint an ambassador that he leaves the country.
I don't remember that one either.
I don't remember it either.
I'm trying to think of the one that I thought, oh, it was such a clever little bit, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was so good, and I thought it was so priceless. I need to go in here and check some of this out. Excuse me. Yeah, like in those fight scenes too, when we got Saddam.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like the worst part about this movie was that, you know, there's so many things that you want to explain to MJ. You know, I found myself like doing that too
So
much.
many
And
things you need to explain.
yeah.
Like, and some of those references are incredibly, like Saddam Hussein coming back to life, like the T-1000 and T2.
T2.
Are you familiar with Terminator 2?
I am not. Well, I mean, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen anything.
That's a pretty specific joke.
It is. That's true. Like the ones that I think would go over a lot of people's heads are, was it good old Lloyd Bridges? Hang on, he was on the.
Oh God, like the Apocalypse Now reference. I mean, if you've not seen Apocalypse Now, you'd never know. They do this bit where they're on a river in Thailand or in Iraq or wherever Iraq, I think. They're on a river and and they're he's monologuing to himself, Charlie Sheen, writing out a diary. And another boat goes by, and it's his dad from Apocalypse Now.
Right.
And then they just go, "I loved you in Wall Street."
That was the other thing between like Charlie Sheen and Valeria Golino, how they kept like breaking that fourth wall about talking about being in the film kind of thing. I loved that.
That's just the extra.
Yeah, the extra. Fucking hell, that was funny. Holy shit. No, so it was Lloyd Bridges, and they're on the boat, and they're gonna go underwater. Like, okay, so like Lloyd Bridges was known for a TV show called Sea Hunt.
Yeah.
And his name in the show is Mike Nelson, by the way, which I always think is very interesting. Not Michael J, but Mike Nelson. And yeah, so that little reference to Sea Hunt, I thought that was pretty fucking awesome. But again, if you don't know that,
right,
it's not going to be a funny joke to you.
That said, you laughed a lot in this, though, MJ.
I did. I really did. I found it very funny.
For you, it was like you love. I think you are a sucker for those background gags that are going on. Like when you're like the main scene will be going on, but you see shit going on in the background. You're like, oh god!
Like the guys that just kept trying to get the girl.
The monks.
The monks
Yeah,
that were trying to get the girl. They're just behind there doing random things. Like this dog is wearing a tutu, and one of them's leading them in circles, and it's just like.
And then if you listen closely, you can hear her go, "Okay, next." Like, like she's auditioning them. It's so good.
Of course, it's 1993, and you can't have a movie that doesn't reference Basic Instinct. So we get a scene of her sitting down, smoking a cigarette inappropriately, and then she opens her leg, and it's giant, like, metal sound. The sound design jokes in this movie.
The best is when they go back to her place, and she does the dive off of the diving board into the fucking bed.
No. The best part is the No Way Out reference that immediately follows the Kevin Costner movie.
Oh, with
in the limo. In the limo. That's the reference to No Way Out.
That's right.
With that hilarious fucking limo driver.
Oh my god. it was the clapboard for me. When
Yes.
The little baby clapboard. God damn it.
It's just the tiny little jokes that they came up with, like seemingly at random, and just threw together.
It's just so good.
They just threw everything at that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy who played the chauffeur, I mean, he deserves a shout out.
I'm looking him up right now because I'm like, I gotta find that guy.
Great face, like just selling every gag. Every time he's got the 3D glasses on and the popcorn.
The fact that he's all the way turned around watching them, and you could still see the road behind him, like, so good. All right, I'm gonna find him.
And they bring that back for one last joke, and it's like, God damn, that's good. They did not let up on that joke, and it was a good choice because that joke kept being funny every time.
Every fucking time. For some reason, I'm only getting like the main cast, and I can't.
That's a bummer.
I know.
Because that guy deserves a shout out.
He
He
really
was
does.
hilarious.
He was so good. Wow. Also, again, quick shout out to Valeria Golino because I love her.
Mm-hmm.
She just, I remember seeing her. I don't know what was she hadn't done comedy before this. Like it was like she'd done like kind of romantic films or kind of that kind of stuff. So seeing her do this, and again, she carries it off beautifully as well. Takes it seriously. You're right. Didn't break when he French kissed her nose. The whole mole thing.
Right.
If I were telling a joke, it would be three.
A horse walks into a bar. Why the long face? You're not joking.
But the way that she says it, it's so sincere and sweet. You're like, yep. I get you. I just love it. And the ripping of the shirt to stop people from bleeding. Everybody's like, I've got one too.
She's got like half a
shirt on, right? Because you have to make her. Yeah, she has to be sexified even more. So.
Well, that's again, that's a reference to numerous different movies.
Absolutely.
I think Raquel Welch had one that they're referring to with that gag.
Yeah. Have the lady just in tatters, but make sure some of her tits still look great.
I just saw The Expendables 4, Expendables is what they're calling it.
Is that what they're calling it?
I don't know. For some reason, they go with the 4 in place of the A in the title.
Expendables.
So it's Expendables. But no, they're taking down this like enemy ship that
Yeah.
has like a nuclear weapon on it, and somehow Megan Fox has ended up on this mission. She's the leader of the mission, and she's wearing like a crop top. She's the only one who's just showing off her midsection for no fucking reason on this military sponsored,
For no fucking reason.
anti-terrorism mission. She somehow ended up in half shirt.
She's Megan Fox. She could go in there in like a burlap sack and be like, "Yep, let's make that. You know what? Let's just shorten it just a bit. Can we get bottom boob on this? We love bottom boob these days.
It's called underboob.
It's bottom
Under.
boob. I mean, push them together. It looks like a butt. I know. I've done it in the bathroom several times.
Just happened. Fuck just happened.
Nobody knows.
Why don't you guys support me in any of the things that I try to do? I just feel like I get zero support from both of you.
So Tug Benson, honestly, like, this is proof that comedy gets no respect, because honestly, and I'm not being hyperbolic, he deserves an Academy Award nomination. Lloyd Bridges
Oh, I agree.
deserved an Academy Award nomination, Best Supporting Actor, for this performance.
Yep.
He is so funny.
So funny.
I don't know if I've seen anything like this is like what is it? Cleavon Little.
Yeah.
And Blazing
In
Saddles level of
absolutely.
just everything is a joke,
Mhm.
and it's always funny.
So funny.
What's his name? Harvey Korman in Blazing Saddles. I mean,
Yes.
those level of
Yes.
jokes, like, just constant,
Boom, boom, boom.
or even what Mel himself is doing in that movie with his governor character. Like, just everything is a fucking brilliant joke.
It's so true. See, and every one of the movies that he's done with the makers of Airplane, it's always been that way. But I don't know. To me, I would need to go back and watch Airplane again. Airplane 2 is actually my favorite. I don't know why. It just is. But I want to watch all of those back to back to back. But I still think I maintain this is probably, I think, the funniest out of all 4
Yeah.
he's been in any of the movies, easily.
Have you ever heard this reference before, MJ? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, but don't call me Shirley.
Yes, I
You
have
ever
heard
heard
that one
That's
before.
that's Airplane.
That's Airplane.
That's
yeah.
Airplane. My favorite Airplane joke, though, will always be Ted having a drinking problem. And his drinking problem is that every time he tries to take a drink, he pours it down the front of himself.
So good. In the cockpit when the airlock goes off and the cleaning guy's in there, and all of a sudden, like, he kind of starts to float
That's
upward.
2.
Yeah, they're playing car wash.
Yeah,
And
car wash.
his headphones. The car wash. Oh my god. Oh, I love that movie so much. Now I'm gonna need to go back and watch it.
There is just minor little bits of racism here and there.
Yeah.
Like, there's
yeah.
the notion that, like, there's like one character who's running around with a towel on his head, and it's an actual towel from a hotel.
Oh yeah. Ouch.
Yeah,
Yikes. That's
not
a yikes.
okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't funny.
No. And there was another one too that I
Cringed.
yeah.
Yeah, but they were few and far between, though.
Thankfully, but I mean, again, and then we'd have like the boomers that would yell at us saying, "See, people can't laugh anymore." Well, no, not when it's racist. It's not funny.
No,
Sorry.
it's
It's
just
just-
mean.
When
Thank
the
you very
joke is
much.
just
When
racist,
it's
you're
just
not,
racist. Yeah,
it's okay to acknowledge it.
I hate to say that's not comedy.
No.
That's just white people wanting to laugh at their stupidity. But yeah, real quick.
Richard Crenna actually got permission from Sly Stallone to make this movie.
He did not.
He went to Sylvester Stallone
got
and
his
asked,
blessing?
"Yes, is it okay with you if I make fun of what we made?"
Fuck Stallone. I'd be like, I'm Richard fucking Crenna. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Well, I mean, very nice of him, but
That was
he
very
wasn't.
kind.
He didn't deserve that.
Stallone did not deserve that consideration.
Fuck Stallone. Every time I see him, it's like somebody has punched a jelly donut it's just like the top of it, and his face is just like it's like going inside. It's like swallowing itself. I hate Stallone.
Yeah, I mean, The Expendables is exactly the kind of movie that this movie is making fun of.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. And
it's so gross.
That's okay though. I still maintain though that the best Stallone movie is Rhinestone.
In that movie, MJ, Sylvester Stallone is a country music singer
Yeah.
who sings a duet
With
Dolly Parton.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really
That's-
he's really Italian in it too, like super Italian.
Want to do the country music, you know?
But he brings Dolly home for dinner, to meet his parents, and they're just like, "Why you gotta bring the girl home? We didn't even know we were gonna have the guests." It's like really bad Italian.
Oh god.
It's so bad.
Sounds terrifying.
My mom made me see that in the movie theater at the mall with her, and she's like, "Wasn't that such a great movie?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck. If it weren't for Dolly, I don't think I would have gotten through it." I was waiting for like Best Little Whorehouse in Texas too. That's like what I wanted,
Oh God.
but not with Stallone.
I don't think you can necessarily compare Stallone and Burt Reynolds. There's a bit of a difference in actor
You
there.
can't. You're right. Quite a difference.
Say what you will about Reynolds, he had a little bit more range.
Oh, bless his heart.
And
he
Sly.
did. Yeah. Aw. I wanted to show Fuzzy a picture
Of what are you showing
of
them?
Rhinestone. This was the movie poster, Fuzz. Because he's also a cab driver.
Oh wow.
Yeah. She's
Ah.
bet everything, and we mean everything, that she can turn this New York cabbie into an overnight sensation. He has other things in mind, but he's never had a trainer like this one.
What?
That was the that's on the movie poster. It's so long. Like they've never had one like that. Remember the Coast is Toast? Like that kind of shit.
Oh,
that
fuck
just,
that. Oh, God, I'm
Volcano.
so mad. So, like, there's this movie, Volcano, right? Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche. She's like an earthquake scientist. He's like the LA city planner. And they found out that there's lava underneath Los Angeles that's about to blow. And so, like, there's this very serious trailer going on about this guy, trying to stop LA from being destroyed. And then you get through all this trailer, right? And you come to the end, you've seen this very serious action movie trailer, and then it goes, "The Coast is Toast, May 4th. Fuck, what?
Every time I hear something is toast, I think about bread.
Do you think about bread?
I think about bread.
I don't
That is
think
the
that's
only
wrong.
thing that I can think of when I hear toast. If somebody says toast, I'm thinking bread.
See, now I went with the TV show. Toast
Yeah,
of
just
London.
Toast.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of obsessed with like those weird sort of like things where it's like something very, very serious and then somebody makes like a terrible joke at the end and you're just like, that's not cool. So there's this one time we're watching this performance on the MTV Music Awards of this song by Bone Thugs and Harmony
Yes.
called Crossroads. And it's this very serious song about people dying. Like
Yeah.
their best friends have died
Mhm.
and all the people that they've known that have died in gang wars. And they have this beautiful performance where it's like very moving to the point where you're almost in tears. People in white suits get up from the crowd and like walk onto the stage as
They're
angels.
kind of like, oh my god, it was
was
moving.
very moving.
I didn't like that
Until they go to walk off stage and he goes, "What up, Cleveland?" And
I
you're just-
remember that like it's yesterday. I remember Sean looking over at me. We're like in our 20s. He just goes, and then he's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Pick a time, man. Pick a time.
this is so inappropriate.
Why?
Busy Bone. Jesus Christ.
Why?
That was his actual rap name.
It was his name. It was Busy
Busy
Bone. They were all bones. I will never
this has
forget
gone
that.
off the rails.
Holy shit. Well, it's our podcast. Of course it went off the rails. I think it went off the rails the minute I started talking. I mean, let's be honest.
MJ, you want to share a couple more scenes that you loved?
Now every scene that I've ever seen is slipping out of my head. That's fun.
It's okay, we can edit. So it's fine.
Trust me, if I'm on this podcast, we can edit.
literally everything is just slipped out of my mind.
Here, let me do this. We'll do Hot Shots Part Deux.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was the tiny elevator. Not the elevator. Helicopter. Oh, yeah, elevator.
They're landing at the base in Iraq in a helicopter, and it turns into this tiny helicopter, and you can see people walking around it.
I can see the scale
Somebody
of
get
this
that
thing.
thing out of here!
It's like a drone. That's so good. Oh, Lloyd Bridges list of body parts that have been replaced.
Oh, yes.
My tongue is a doorstop
Yeah.
somewhere.
Titanium alloy, like everything. Like he doesn't have an intestines. Like his intestines are gone.
Replaced by
Because of
him.
the torpedo.
Replaced by. That's right. He took a torpedo to his intestines.
Yeah. They
They
replaced it all with
replaced all
hemp, and hemp gets filled up really easy.
Oh my god.
It clogs.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
What are you doing?
I was gonna play us a little clip, but then this was from the wrong one. It's from the first one. And I wanted the second one, and I was gonna play one little clip because it was so fucking funny, and now it's gone. So
How would you like a piece of IMDb trivia for Hot Shots Part Deux?
I should like that.
Because I don't know how much you'll like this. I think this is probably the worst idea I've ever heard.
Oh no.
Jim Abrams originally wanted Marlon Brando instead of Lloyd Bridges to
Nope.
play the president.
Nope.
That would have been foolish.
You know, okay, so then let's
A man who has no sense of humor. Just none. Marlon Brando doesn't know anything funny. He's never said a funny thing. He doesn't understand what a joke is.
see. That's the reason. You know, the reason we have Jared Leto is because of Marlon Brando. So fuck that noise. It would have been funny though to have Lloyd Bridges be the character in The Island of Dr. Moreau. Because that would actually be fucking funny. And Brando was unintentionally funny in that movie, so Lloyd Bridges could have done that better.
Maybe. Yeah.
Why?
Maybe-
Why?
I think with Brando, though, he wouldn't know that he's being funny.
And that
And
would
it
be
might
funny?
actually, like, his obliviousness might actually work.
I just think they've done 3 movies with Bridges. Well, no, 2 by that point, and they already know what they're getting from him. Why the fuck would you want Brando over Bridges?
No, that would
Fuck
be
that.
terrible.
That would be terrible.
Terrible.
And beyond that, Lloyd Bridges has one of the most affable faces. And he's a sweet face. He's passed that on to his little boy Jeff, who's one of my favorite humans in the world. And I could not see. Yeah, Brando just he has resting bitch face. Always resting bitch face. I'd say R.I.P., but I don't give a fuck about him, so whatever.
Uh-oh, Brando's on the cut list.
Oh, I forgot to put him on there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. If
Someone
not for
did make the cunt
he
list.
did, but he wasn't even in the
Yay.
movie.
Oh, and George W. Bush. We referenced him. Both Bushes.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Michelle Obama. I know you're friends with George Bush, but I don't like him. So both Georges.
Yeah. He did 9/11. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
no,
oh, shit.
Sorry, what?
Who's gonna get this canceled this weekend? It's not gonna be me, brother.
Hey, Charlie Sheen believes that.
Again, I don't understand how your dad is Martin Sheen and you're that fucking stupid.
That's
Your dad was the president of the United States
Martin Sheen
in the West
also
Wing.
somehow never had tiger blood.
He never had tiger blood.
So how did Charlie get
I don't know. He never had like beautiful babies at his side.
it? Charlie Sheen claimed to have tiger blood.
It's because he was winning so much. That's another reference. He always kept
Hashtag
saying
winning.
hashtag winning.
Yeah.
Hashtag winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to watch some Barbara Walters interviews with Charlie Sheen
Oh.
to really have a sense of the real Charlie Sheen.
I'll show you the drug-addled ones. Those are the best.
Oh man.
Which it sucks though because
The-
like you want him to get better, but then he just kept getting worse.
The 90s, like every Jay Leno joke was about Charlie Sheen and hookers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Ooh,
you have to
oddly
differentiate. When I say Jay Leno jokes, I mean bad. I
Bad,
mean that just
yeah.
should be shorthand for bad. If
Bad.
it's a Jay Leno joke,
Mhm.
assume it's bad.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of bits on Robert Downey Jr. when he was going through all the drug stuff. And you're like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Although the difference is Robert Downey Jr. is like really fucking awesome, and Carlos Estevez didn't really go that route. So, sorry.
So a visual joke that you wouldn't get if you've never seen Scarface. Did you recognize Saddam's palace?
Oh shit!
The entire interior is Scarface's mansion from the end of Scarface.
It is like everybody gets shot up on the balconies and shit. Oh my god!
They packed every moment of this with a joke.
That was one of Fuzzy's things that you pointed out when Saddam went to bed. He had the really beautiful floral patterns, and then he also went to sleep with his hat on.
Yeah.
His little dog in a little
dog
bed
in
next
little
to him.
Had a bed exactly like his.
Oh my god! I loved his relationship with his dog. He really loved that dog.
These guys have such a talent for such a weirdly specific joke. There's a weirdly specific joke that the Abrams and Proft do about refrigerators. There's this gag in Naked Gun where Frank Drebin has something on top of his refrigerator that looks like it's breathing the entire and never gets mentioned. It's just it looks like a piece of cheese that's like come to life and it's just breathing on top of his refrigerator.
Cheese.
Sentient cheese.
But here, like, they go through Saddam's refrigerator and he has things such as Hungry Nomad, 2% camel milk,
Yes.
old Iraqi beer,
Yes.
falafel helper.
Falafel helper. That was my favorite one. Everything.
I didn't even notice that one. When Saddam makes the sandwich he makes, he seals it with Saharan wrap.
Speaking of that, what was the name of the plane? Or no, was it the boat? It was the boat. Do you remember? Ben Gazzara. The Ben Gazzara.
Why?
Why not? So good. Oh, and then instead of speaking like an actual like Iraqi accent or language, we have people like a bunch of different celebrities like names being used. It was so random. Like you'd have to really listen.
Yeah.
Like we caught the Ally McGraw one. What was the other one that we? There was quite a few of them. The way that they kept talking. Oh, what was it? God, there were so many of them.
Oh God, it's so bad.
Which again, I suppose could be racist, but at the same time, it's like not really, because I think what they're trying to do is they're just going for the gag on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember all the ones that.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. Just an absolutely brilliant joke that you caught in this one was Rabinowitz, Styles' character. What are you reading? Great Expectations. Is it any good? It's not what I hoped for.
That was my favorite joke. I loved that so much. Actually, that made me think of your mom. Like, that's just like something that I think your mom would really laugh at.
Oh my god, she really
Such
would.
a great line. Such a great line. Oh my
Just
god.
so random.
Yeah, totally random.
Did you notice that every woman in this movie had a middle name, and it was Rodham?
It was.
Everybody's
Ramada Rodham. Yes.
So this MJ, this is a reference to Hillary Clinton because as a feminist, she had her maiden name and her married name, so you would call her Hillary Rodham Clinton.
It's so funny. Like
she didn't do
Hillary
that.
Rodham Hussein.
She didn't do that when she ran for president.
Nope.
She dropped
it.
the Rodham thing to make herself more accessible.
By the way,
it really worked too because she's been elected twice as president since then.
Oh, womp womp. Dang, dude. Why are you harsh?
Because she's responsible for Trump.
Oh. So, hey, the limo driver.
Yeah.
His name is Tony Edwards.
Oh,
Finally
fantastic.
found him. Having said that, when you click on his face, it takes you to Anthony Edwards from ER. So I'm telling you right now, that is not him. Because that's a very white man. But,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No. Tony Edwards. What is this? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what now?
Hang on. Wait for it.
I don't want to be here. Yo, we're on computers today.
What the fuck?
What the fuck was that?
What is it? It's a little boy whose name is Tony Edwards, and he posted this today.
ago.
2 hours ago. I was gonna try and bring up some of the stuff. Like I was gonna see if there's an interview with them, but there isn't. Okay.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
so,
a shame.
Well, fuck off. So, the guy who played Saddam Hussein,
yeah,
Jerry.
yeah. This is
Was
like what
also-
he does.
Yeah.
He plays Saddam Hussein in movies.
Big Lebowski
Yeah,
in the bowling alley. Yeah.
that's
I
Jerry
need to see
Haleva.
that movie again. It's been
Oh my God.
what was I 13 when we watched that?
I think you were like 12. I think it was like, yeah.
You've
we
got to
showed
watch
that
it
to
at
you
least
early
3
on.
times.
At least, because, and then every time after that, you're going to get a different nuance and a different little thing each time.
Because it's
But
fucking brilliant.
you do need to watch again. But yeah, he made a living off of playing Saddam Hussein.
Didn't he do it on an episode of Seinfeld?
I think he did. Unless that was just the soup Nazi. Was that him? No, it wasn't. No, I think you're right. But he was the go-to guy. I just remember like they interviewed him. I don't know how on a bunch of different shows. And they're like, why him?
I remember they interviewed him after Saddam died.
They did not.
They did. There's an interview with him that they did after Saddam died, and he's talking about, there goes my career, I guess.
No, you go on forever in our hearts, Jerry. There'll always be room for you at the Saddam table. It does sound. It does. I remember when we were kids and all the adults, they always, whenever they talk about Saddam Hussein and they change his name to So Damn Insane.
Oh,
Do you remember
God.
that?
No.
Well, in the Crenna family, that's what we heard a lot.
You know what? They tread a very close line on their jokes with Saddam in terms of like, because I was worried they were gonna go with a whole like gay thing.
Yeah.
Because the dog and there's a kind of couple of effeminate jokes.
And he has a
seemingly,
bit of a lisp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't lean into it so much to make that like very plain what they were doing. So I don't think they necessarily went that direction, and I appreciate that they didn't go off in that direction of equating like being effeminate as being bad.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like right along the line of what Men in Tights did with the Men in Tights song.
Which I still get in my head. It's so beautiful.
Very much along those same lines.
You know what? Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think in the film landscape now, could a movie like this be done?
No way, man. We don't laugh at jokes anymore. Bill Maher said the other night, if I may,
Okay,
if I
Boomer.
may comment, just kind of mention like my man Bill Maher, because he says that like you can't even tell jokes anymore.
Oh my
'Cause,
god.
like, you can't, dude. Nobody
Why
likes to laugh.
Why are you a dude bro now?
Why does he have a voice that it sounds like that?
So, yeah, but you're almost Keanu Reeves. Don't do that to him.
This is how you talk when you quote Bill Maher.
Oh, he's got some really great ideas, you guys. I can't help it that you're not a free thinker like me. Okay.
I have this Bill Maher theory. I think he's so bitter now because he wanted to be Joe Rogan
Yeah.
and didn't get that chance.
Yeah. Because the truth is,
He got
Bill-
surpassed by Joe Rogan, and he's never going to let any of us forget about it.
I cannot even watch some of my favorite episodes of Murder, She Wrote, because he's in them.
Ugh.
Yeah. Thanks for ruining Murder, She
stupid-
Wrote for me.
With his stupid mullet.
His you know what? I still stand by the fact that Women of the Avocado Jungle of Death is still one of those movies that I am going to pull out and watch, but only because of Adrienne Barbeau. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Not even because of Shannon
Nope.
Tweed.
I have no time for her. I have no time for Bill Maher. But man, that's a fucking awesome movie. Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. Go check it out.
Bill Maher's already on the list, isn't he?
Oh yeah. I think he was one of the early days.
He was added quickly,
Yeah.
because he deserves it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Top
Right
of
there. Yep. Second page.
top of the
There we
same
go.
page.
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have Chevy Chase on here twice.
Oh,
We do.
Couldn't-
He's right
Couldn't
here.
happen to a nicer
and
guy.
Then I put him here. You know what? He deserves to be on there
Yeah.
twice.
He
We're
can
just gonna
stay
leave
there
him
twice.
twice. That's fine. That's fine. If that's the case, I need to write J.K. Rowling's name again.
Oh, yeah.
just to be.
If
Cheetahs.
you're playing the at-home game,
Yeah. who's on your cunt list this week? See, I could do a Delilah TV show like on Mix 96. Who's on your cunt list tonight, you guys? Let's hear some positive stories about some cunts that you know.
My dad.
Oh, J.K. Rowling. I'm writing it with an extra blue pen so it stands out to the eye. Anyway.
Yeah. Add Dax Shepard in there while you're at it.
Well,
Just
I love
'cause
Dax Shepard.
Fuck Dax Shepard.
What happened?
He made Jonathan Van Ness cry.
But he's married to Kristen Bell, and we love Kristen Bell.
Yeah, he's kind of pushing that line about he's just asking questions on
And
his
he
on his podcast
He made Jonathan cry about what?
about trans people.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Bye, Dax.
Bye, Dax. Fuck. God, can you people just keep your fucking mouths shut? Jesus Christ, it's not.
I'm
like,
just asking questions, dude.
Okay.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm just asking questions.
I had this conversation with a coworker the other night, and she's just like, she goes to church and that kind of thing, and I said, but it's none of your business. Like, it has literally nothing to do with you. So I don't understand why it's so interesting. Like, why you think that's very main character of you to think that you need to have a comment or an opinion on trans people at all.
Yeah.
So I think the minute you say that you're trans, go ahead and have an opinion. But until then, fuck right off. Fuck off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cunt list for all of you.
For
who
all
think
of
that
you.
way.
You know what, Jurgen? I don't think you'd ever be like that. Sweet Jurgen. And we know our little Robbie is.
No, he's wearing a
sarong.
sarong and a sheer top. He's not.
He would happily wear a dress at any point, and he doesn't care if you call him or they, them. It doesn't matter. So we have good people.
So you were ranking these earlier, and I think you said you're still on the loaded weapon.
Yeah, yeah, I think Loaded Weapon, but like just by a little bit because they were both really good. Like
Yeah.
I really laughed at both. I really just like this genre. It's hilarious.
It is.
Absolutely hilarious.
Just stop watching it after 1993. These are the last good ones because they go on to become just terrible. Once we get to Scary Movie, which was the Scream parody,
Oh yeah.
it's just about dicks at that point.
Yeah.
It's just about dicks. Everything's a dick joke.
Why did it become that? Like it.
Blame Keenan Ivory Wayans.
You know.
And Sean and Marlon too.
I was gonna say there's a lot. I think In Living Color was the only good thing you guys ever did. You should have just left it there. Except, no, I'm sorry, that's not even gonna work
Yeah.
either. I was gonna say they're Damon Wayans, but Damon Wayans Jr. is a good.
He's
guy.
funny.
Yeah,
He's funny. I've seen him on a few things. Yeah, so that's why they just take it in this horrible direction. And then there's the Seltzerberg movies. These guys are just fucking hacks. Like literally, just let's reenact a scene from The Matrix and say that's the joke because you're like, oh, but it's funny because we've got Eddie Griffin doing it.
Oh no.
It's like no, it has. You have to
No.
actually do something funny for it to work. Like Charlie Sheen putting the condiments on his hand to go fight. Like it's not just we're just gonna do Rambo and have it be Charlie Sheen.
Right.
That's not a joke. You have to actually have a joke.
Jeez, so I'd never even heard of these two people.
What?
Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
Yeah, they're the worst.
So disaster movie, epic movie. Meet the Spartans
Never funny, not for a second.
and Vampires Suck.
Oh yeah, that's their Twilight. How do you fuck up a Twilight parody?
It's hard.
It does its
There
own
are
job.
so many of them on TikTok. Like TikTok does it.
And it's
all
good.
the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
I've seen some hilarious ones. Oh my god. I saw one just the other night. It was great.
I just watched one with it was Taylor Swift playing Bella and Bill Hader playing Frankenstein. So they changed it up a bit.
Oh my god.
And he's like Bill Hader standing behind Taylor Swift going, "Say it." She goes, "Frankenstein." And just the way that she delivered it was so Kristen Stewart. It was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah. But you can't really fuck up. Like I said, I think that movie does a good job of tearing itself apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the same time, I still have a soft spot for it because Mom loved them. You know what I mean?
It's like, okay, it's like we love it, but we hate
We
it.
hate it. Yeah.
It's like it's only okay because it's that.
Like we know it sucks.
Yes.
So we can like it. That.
Yes.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson does the best interviews. Like though, if you watch him talk about
Oh my
Twilight,
God.
and he goes, wait a second, I'm a teenager, but I'm 108 fucking years old. You know, just, he thought it was a piece of shit when he took it, but man, who was gonna turn down that fucking money?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I give it to Pattinson. Big ups to
He shines
Pattinson.
like a diamond.
He does.
And I mean, it's
does,
not
in
bad
more ways than
fame.
one.
It's like it's still like he doesn't get crap for it. Like 'cause
He should.
it was well.
I know, but like, okay, how do you make Kristen Stewart, who is a great actress, how do you make her look so bad?
That is a good question.
Terrible in this. Like some of her delivery. The only thing that I believed in those movies was when there was New Moon and they were running off to Italy and she was having the panic attack in the car. I'm like, I relate to that. That looked real to me. You know what I mean? Because she's like kicking the dash and kind of getting all nervous. How do we get off on Twilight?
Not sure.
Doesn't matter.
There's another movie though.
Happens, I guess.
So we loved Hot Shots.
Loved Hot
I
Shots.
would rank it up. It's right up there with Loaded Weapon
Yep.
and Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Agreed.
They're all three kind of brilliant. The other movie we watched this week is called Airborne. This is about a surfer.
No, it's not.
It travels to Ohio for 6 months and gets into rollerblading.
Well,
Rollerblading.
didn't we all? It was
Amy,
93. We had nothing else.
Amy,
we had no
does-
internet.
Does the name Rob Bowman ring a bell to you?
Does. Thank you, X-Files.
Yeah, he directed
Fuck,
this
you
movie.
did not.
He did. Rob Bowman
Okay.
directed Airborne.
So here's what makes sense then. That's why Seth Green was in it. That's why Jack Black was in it. Because they both were on X-Files. Actually, there's a couple more that I saw in there. Rob
Yeah,
Bowman.
your boy Rob Bowman did this.
Hey, you know what? I won't acknowledge it.
California born and raised surfer Mitchell Goosen has to spend 6 months in Ohio while learning the hard way. Love is where the heart is.
Not Love is Where the Heart Is.
Where was that in the movie?
Oh my god.
What are you talking about?
So where was his heart then?
In his other pants.
Oh. Bazing! Yes! Holy shit. That movie sucks.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Shane McDermott, the star of the movie, is Mitchell Goosen, retired after 3 years after this movie.
That's right.
He was like 19. He's like,
done.
fuck this shit.
Well, I mean,
Nah.
let's face it. I mean, he was he really an actor? I mean, I think he was related to
I
somebody
go
on
by
the
the
set.
philosophy of Gandhi.
Oh,
Peace, man.
Peace, man. And then that floppy 90s hair that everybody had. And poor Seth. God, Seth Green, you can't get a break on that hair. You never could in the 90s.
Ooh, what was that? What was he
Oh.
doing? And they were like treating his hair like a troll doll.
Yeah, yeah. Like he was an abused troll doll.
Like
Fuck.
at one point when it was just ponies
Yeah.
and more ponies.
More ponies all over
Yeah.
his head.
What was happening?
Well, and
It's
here's
like he was being played with by Weird Barbie.
That's true.
I think he was
He
weird
was Weird
Barbie for a
Barbie.
while.
They abused him. They did Seth Green dirty in this movie, I think, because he's awesome. And then you have like see, so Seth Green, he was in an episode of the X-Files. This is how I know that he had good hair at one point, though, because in the X-Files, his hair it was like naturally wavy, and they let it be long, and it, you know, it was really cute in X-Files.
Mm.
And then this fucking movie, we didn't even have like straighteners back then. But for some reason, they did that, and like it looked like he had a triangle head. You know what I mean? Like it was just.
He always looked good with the spike hair on Buffy.
That's true. He looked well. That was toward the end of the 90s, though, really. And then Jack Black looked like somebody took a fucking weed whacker to his head in this movie. I mean, it was all like, fuck my shit up there. And then they didn't even know what to do with him in this movie. Yeah, exactly. Jack Black. Again, you have such a dynamic actor, and maybe people didn't know it back in '93, but See, that's why the X-Files did a great job with him because they
He's-
really made it awesome.
He's such a ball of rage in
He's
this
a
movie.
ball of rage
He's
in
just
this
angry.
movie.
Like, the guy just gives the peace sign. And he's just losing his shit.
Why-
I
yeah.
have to bully you.
Why-
I
why-
have to bully you.
Who hurt you?
He's just losing his mind
God.
every time. His eyes are bugging out.
Yeah, and I always believed, and to me, it's like, again, I have weird taste in men, but I always thought Jack Black was gorgeous in the '90s. I loved him, but then he had like long hair and kind of the barrel-chested, I had a thing for long-haired, barrel-chested assholes. I really did, but I mean, Jack Black, I don't think was an asshole, but I always had a crush on him. So,
Oh my god.
anytime I can get a dig in, I'm going to. Any fucking time.
Yeah.
I get a dig in, you bet I fucking am. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
What was your favorite part of Airborne?
There wasn't one. But I think my favorite part was the part where they got airborne. It's so good.
There's a very brief very brief amount of air. It's not really
But they were
not really
born.
any.
They were born.
They were born once.
They were born once. They
They should
breathed
not
air.
be born again.
Yeah. This is like when you didn't read a book, but you have to write the book report. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now.
This movie was inspired by the X Games. You remember the X Games?
Yeah, I
Are those still a
do.
thing? Do they still have the X Games?
They don't have the X Games anymore.
The X Games, those are the Extreme Olympics, like they're for like roller skating,
Extreme!
and the '90s was obsessed with extreme.
God, they
Like
really were.
everything had to be the extreme of something.
Mr. Science Theater when Mike Nelson, the bots are trying to get him to do extreme stuff because they're like, we're gonna go, extreme ziplining, and then he does extreme stamp collecting and extreme rice. He got really extreme into rice. He's like, basmati, and then they're like, no, it's not working for you, pal. Sorry, but okay. So it looks here, X Games.
Yeah.
The last thing they did was like in 2003, maybe, or no, X Games 2022 returns to California.
Well, wow.
No one should give a shit. I remember we had to sell the X Games CD at Disc Jockey, and it's that fucking.
All of it was extreme.
I fucking
all the
hated
music
it.
was extreme.
It was like Firestarter. There was a whole thing. It was just Prodigy, and I fucking hate Prodigy. So it was, no, it's terrible.
Yeah, no surprise that this was inspired. So it was like skateboarding and inline skating and bicycle tricks and
And there was some ice.
snowboarding.
I
There's
don't
some
know why
ice.
there was ice skating.
There
Yeah.
was,
I don't know why there was ice skating.
Remember the ice skating scene in this movie was hockey. They're playing hockey because it's
Yeah.
Cincinnati and they play hockey. And then they like the main kid gets his ass knocked completely out and just everybody fucking leaves and just leave him laying there.
It's like,
Wouldn't
you're,
you?
you're fine, right? You're fine.
It's a massive head injury. He'll be fine.
But Seth
His
Green's
buddy's
saying-
gonna sit there. His buddy's gonna sit there with him, and
You know what? To me, they could have just ended the movie right there.
anytime somebody mentions a concussion in a movie, though,
Yeah.
I get kind of like triggered a little bit because when I was a kid, I watched this episode of MASH
Yeah.
where Hawkeye gets a concussion and he has to keep he can't lay down. If he lays down, he might die. He might
Right.
go to sleep and not wake up. And he's in this village where he's like with people who don't speak English, and he's just kind of riffing off of them the entire episode while he has this concussion. Because if he lays down, he might go to sleep. And I'm like, oh my god, what if I hit my head and I fall asleep? What happens? Am I gonna die? And so MASH traumatized me.
Yeah. This is why we didn't like MASH growing up because it was so weird like that.
I've
Some of
always
those-
loved MASH.
Oh my
but
god, no.
It traumatized me repeatedly. Like Hawkeye has this dream where he doesn't have arms and he's floating down a little river
Yeah.
in Korea, and he doesn't have arms, and then you see all these body parts floating in the
Yeah.
river. It's a dream sequence.
Yeah. Remember Loretta Swit, her character Hot Lips.
It's symbolic of his feeling of helplessness because he sees all these dead bodies and he can't help anybody because he doesn't have any arms. That's symbolism.
See, we need to call your mom and just have her come down
Yeah.
and talk about MASH.
Yeah.
Because I could give a fuck.
Welcome to the MASH podcast.
Oh, no.
My mom can
No.
talk about MASH for hours. If you want to do a podcast about MASH, talk to my mom.
So true. She's got the box set. Like, she does. She has the
it up
fucking
at
box
the cabin.
set.
She watches it up at the
Oh
cabin.
my
And
God.
Is
I used to get so mad. I would walk in and she'd be like,
is she a Blake or a Potter though?
I mean,
I have no idea.
I
can text
bet
her.
I think she's a pot. No.
Or is the divide
messages.
between Is the divide between Wayne Rogers and the guy who replaced Wayne Rogers? Is that the Mike Farrell?
Mike Farrell.
You're either a Rogers or a Farrell.
You're a Honeycutt or
I can't remember.
Mike Farrell.
He had a Honeycutt is Mike Farrell.
No, Honeycutt's the other one, isn't he?
No.
No.
Mike Farrell is Honeycutt.
Oh,
Wayne
you're right.
Rogers is.
Wayne Rogers is
Fuck. He had a
I'm gonna
nickname.
have to look it up.
He had a nickname. What was the
He
nickname?
did. Hang on, I'll find it. I can't believe him. Trapper.
Trapper.
Because he had his own Trapper John MD laid on him. Trapper.
Those were related?
I thought so.
Because I was always confused by that because he's played by a different actor. Like the Trapper there has like a bald head and a beard.
It's a different Trapper, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I don't think Trapper John had his own.
I think it was
show.
the same character, though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Because
bizarre.
obviously Trapper John took place later on where he would be old.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe they just like the name Trapper.
We're going to... look, I'm going to find this out. I'm going to fucking find this out.
This is the urgent, important thing that we need to know.
Here you go. So he succeeded Elliot Gould, who played the character in the Robert Altman film, MASH.
Okay.
And was himself succeeded by Pernell Roberts on the MASH spinoff, Trapper John MD.
That was a spinoff.
It
Wow.
was a spinoff.
They picked the weird actor for that.
Yeah, Pernell Roberts. Of all
Like,
people.
why would Pernell Roberts play that character? Also, he doesn't seem anything like him at all.
No.
Like Trapper was like funny and drunk all the time,
Yeah.
and
And Pernell Roberts wasn't funny.
he's just
He kinda
has
was like
no
Bald
sense of
Santa.
humor.
Yeah.
What a weird choice. How long did that show last?
Trapper John,
Yeah.
79 to 86.
What the fuck?
I know,
Really?
right? I
How?
know. I'd never
Like
asked
people
anyone about
don't talk about this show ever. Like no one discusses this show.
But we know the show. Timothy Busfield was on that fucking show.
But did you honestly remember that was a MASH spinoff?
Yeah, but no, okay. I
'Cause I only remember one MASH spinoff, and that is After MASH.
Ooh, is that where Radar got married? I hated that so much. It's like, why would you bring them back to have why would Radar get married? By the way, Radar was gay. I'm sorry. He was not straight. He wouldn't have married a small hometown girl. That guy was like, he hung out with Klinger. I'm pretty sure he was like, you know what? I want that. I want that.
I've
Oh
seen,
my
like, 2
God.
seconds of
You're
MASH, and
having-
that guy does sound gay.
Unfortunately, Amy, you're having a false memory.
No, you're kidding.
You are. Gary Berghoff had his own show called Walter.
Walter.
That was the name of his real character's real name.
Who?
Radar. Radar's
Oh,
real name was
Walter, and he had a show called
Called
Walter.
Walter.
Okay, but
After MASH was Colonel Potter and Klinger and Father Mulcahy.
But they had Radar's wedding on that show.
Are you sure?
I swear to
They
Christ.
didn't have it on Walter.
Hang on, I'm positive they didn't. MASH. It was
MJ,
after
can you
MASH,
answer these questions?
After MASH, Radar's wedding.
How many spin-offs can one
Dude,
show have?
I fucking know, right?
There are only 3. Yeah.
Still.
It was incredibly successful.
I find 2 a little crazy.
Victoria Jackson was on Walter.
Hunt list. Somebody, this was the funniest thing. I watched this the other night. Somebody took Steve Martin when he did Toonsis the Driving Cat.
Yeah.
She was also in that sketch. They cropped her out of every scene. You can hear her go to say something and they cut her off. And they just do Steve and Toonsis. It's fucking brilliant. Fucking
Well
brilliant.
done. Well done,
Oh.
whoever did that.
Victoria Cunt Jackson on my list. All right. So
There was only a pilot for Walter, admittedly. There was only a pilot.
but I know for a fact that he got married on that one.
Did Alan Alda appear on After MASH? We're just gonna keep this topic going for the rest of the show.
No. No, he did not. He did
You'll
not.
get like 2 words from me.
September 26th to 19,
No idea about anything but MASH.
1983
Mhm.
to 1985.
What's that?
Aftermath.
Oh yeah.
So I have
It
to
wasn't
look
very
up Walter.
successful.
Walter, what the fuck, Walter?
1984 was a sitcom.
How could I forget when Francine Gable played Pretty Girl? Or Bob Ramsden played The Singer.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
Pulling up.
theater owner as well.
Yeah. Oh, Mino Pellucci played Elston Krennic. And Cleet Roberts. These aren't real fucking names. These are like Tim and Eric names right here.
Bigelow as well.
Who? Oh, Lyman Ward as Big. I'm sorry. This is all Tim and Eric right here. This is almost like Parks and Rec. This is Kurt Hapley kind of shit.
Willingham.
Oh my god. And then Dick Miller as the theater owner.
Dick Miller, you got to throw him in somewhere.
Anytime I can throw a dick in anywhere, I will. Hey-o! Oh no. Yeah, Walter.
Directed by Bill Bixby.
Aww.
Oh.
I can see him like all sad and stuff when he's not the Hulk. Thinking about
These
you,
80s
Bill.
references doing anything for you there?
Look, we had nothing. We didn't have the internet. How many times did I tell you that? We only had books
How many
and
times
and
you can
fires.
use that as an excuse?
It's true. We didn't want to go to the library.
The internet's the only reason we had 3 MASH spin-offs.
That's right.
The lack thereof. The lack of internet. There was nobody to put together a thing on Twitter and go, we don't want this.
There's no petitions for us.
Stop making this.
I'm gonna go read the.
You had to people used to physically send letters to TV companies.
They did.
I remember that.
Like when Cagney
Right,
and Lacey got canceled,
Mhm.
they sent hundreds of thousands of letters to the network CBS.
Did it make a difference?
Yes, they brought it back for one more season.
You are fucking kidding.
Cagney and Lacey was one of the many shows that was saved by a letter writing campaign.
So that's why there's that episode of Family Guy where he wants the Gumble and Gumble. He wants to bring it because they're gonna cancel it. So then he has Chris get sick, and then they make money so they can put money towards Gumble and Gumble. And he just puts like pepperonis all over his body, like it's like some sort of cancer. It's one of the best episodes because Brian actually smacks Peter in the middle of it and goes, "God is pissed," and a tree fell on him or something. Oh. God, we're all over the fucking place today. I'm
So
sorry.
just completely off the rails.
Yeah.
This went a long time ago.
Yeah, this is longer than our hour, isn't it?
It's something like that.
Oh,
I wanted to
gotcha.
find TV shows that have been saved by letter writing campaigns, but I can't seem to find a good one. Find a good list. Star Trek is the only one anyone wants to talk about. And like, fuck Star
Yeah, we're not. Oh, sorry, honey.
Trek.
I like Star Trek.
MJ.
This is the Star Wars house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen like 2 Star Wars movies.
Okay. You're a hungry humbo person, and I'm a Subway. Yeah, I do get kind of. Yeah, this is a Star Wars family.
Well, you guys can blame my father. You can blame my
Your
father.
dad had more exposure to Star Wars than he did to Star Trek.
But he was the one who showed me Star Trek 100% all the time. That was what he showed me.
Because it's more philosophical.
Is it though? Is it though?
Ugh.
I just feel like it was the only thing on like a Saturday afternoon when everything else was like
I remember
PBS.
your dad was big into what was it, Next Generation,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
what I
utter
watched.
trash. Don't watch the first season; it's
Wait.
absolute garbage.
Dr. Beverly Crusher's on that one. and Wesley.
How did Wesley not die on that
I
show?
know, but he
He's
was
like-
so cute.
So often he's placing himself in just dumb situations where he should have fucking died.
Poor Wesley. Oh, Will Wheaton, I love you. Every day I think about you, Will Wheaton.
What
I
is
do.
happening right
I don't know. I have to go to the bathroom now.
We're at the
Bye.
way to end the podcast.
That's the classic Travolta. I gotta poop.